another episode of York and Spoon. I'm Jenelle York, your vegan punk pinup, and today I'm going to make a recipe that came out of what I have called Clean Out Your Fridge Friday. So as much as I try to meal plan for the week and make sure I'm going to use everything I buy and not waste money buying things I don't need, sometimes I have things that just didn't get used or things in the freezer that have been there a while. And I came up with a raw pad thai dish a few weeks ago, so I'm recreating that for you today. I have some beautiful zucchini, fresh from my garden. I'm so excited, it's my first year growing anything and my zucchini is taking over. I don't know if you can see the baby size zucchinis behind me, but those also came from the same garden as this little guy. So if you've never seen a spiralizer, that's what this is. And it's a really nifty tool for making noodles out of zucchini, or I've done carrots, sweet potatoes. If you don't have this, you could just use a peeler and peel long, flat strips, more like fettuccine noodles would be. But this is something, if you think you might use it, it's only maybe $15 or so, and I use mine a lot. So we're just gonna make our noodles. Okay, so you can see one zucchini makes a lot of noodles here, and I'm just gonna set that aside. But to these noodles here, I'm gonna add some kelp noodles as well. And if you're not familiar with those, you could absolutely just opt out of them, but I would do up 2 zucchinis if you're gonna do that. But I do have the package here, and then I've got, of course, the noodles. But this is kelp noodles. I find it in most natural markets. I find them, really they don't have a lot of flavor, so I shouldn't say I find them delicious, but I really enjoy the texture. They're very firm and almost crunchy. I do soak mine usually in some warm water just for a bit to soften them a little bit, and then I've just drained that water off. So I'm gonna add, this is 1 package, also bumps up to be quite a lot of noodles there. And then we're gonna add some veggies, and then we're gonna make our pad thai sauce. So here I have 1 container, I think it's a 9-ounce container of ready-to-eat shelled soybeans or edamame. If you don't consume soy, I would substitute frozen thawed lima beans, a bag of those. About 2 cups of shredded red cabbage. For now, we're just gonna pile everything right on top, and then we're gonna mix everything together with our tongs. And then I'm gonna top, well, we're gonna mix those in actually, 4 thinly sliced green onions. And then that's for our sauce. So this is everything that's our veggies or bulk. We're gonna save the cilantro for topping at the end. Now we're gonna make our sauce. So I'm just gonna use this measuring cup as my mixing bowl as well. I'm all about minimizing the dishes, so. I'm gonna add about 1/3 cup, this is raw tahini, which is ground sesame seeds, which may be about all I have left here. I think I'm just gonna clean out my container because we're about at 1/3 cup. And then to that, I'm gonna add some liquid aminos. So I have today Bragg's liquid aminos. You could use the OGO coconut aminos or your soy sauce of choice, but this is kind of a soy sauce. And I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of that. And then the juice of half a lime, and this is a pretty large lime. If you had a small lime, I would go ahead and juice the whole thing. And I'm just gonna hand squeeze that right in there. And then I'm also gonna add some very flavorful ingredients into this dressing as well. I'm gonna add half of a jalapeno that I've diced, or finely minced, I should say. And we want to make sure that you remove all the seeds, and I'm making a mess. so that you don't have too much spice from that jalapeno. Unless you like it, then go for it. And I also have 1 clove of fresh garlic that I'm going to just press right into there as well. And then lastly, I have fresh ginger. So this is ginger root, and I've just used a knife, or you can use the back of a spoon, to remove the outer papery like peel. And I'm gonna use this microplane, but you could use the small portion of a cheese grater and just zest some fresh ginger in here as well. Or you could hand mince this as well, just like you would do garlic. And I'm just going to use the back of this spoon to kind of get all that fresh ginger out of here. And then we're going to whisk this up. So the tahini is really thick, so you just want to be careful until you start it mixing, because the lime juice and our liquid aminos are going to thin that out quite a bit. And if it's too thick, then you can add a splash of water, which I think I'm gonna do. Probably added another tablespoon or so of water, because you want this to be pourable onto your veggies and noodles there. And before I add the dressing, I'm gonna toss the veggies together first, so it's a little less messy, and you can see my bowl is really full here. So this is a great dish to feed a full family, or you can portion it out and take it for your lunches for a few days, or bring it somewhere where you can share. Okay, so that looks ready, but I'm going to use some tongs to, as carefully as I can, but I can't promise I'm not gonna make a huge mess in the process. Toss our veggies and our noodles. Maybe at home use a larger bowl than I did. It's a very filling dish. You want lots of room to mix it up. Okay, we'll make that look prettier in a second, but we got it mixed a little bit. Now I'm gonna add our dressing. I'm just gonna pour that over the top. You can see it's a nice creamy dressing, and it's gonna be full of flavor. And do the same, toss that together. So I would just add some fresh cilantro on top as a nice garnish. And another great garnish would be sesame seeds, some raw sesame seeds. We have that sesame butter or tahini in this dressing. All right. So we'll just add our fresh cilantro. And there we go. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure to also find me on social media. I'm at York and Spoon on both Facebook and Instagram.